Macklin Celebrini makes his debut, but the San Jose Sharks are still the San Jose Sharks.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at The Reef, also the co-host of Western Conference Tuesdays here on the Locked On NHL channel. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day, even when they blow a 3-goal lead. So if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch this on YouTube as well. And today we discuss Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini's debuts. The Sharks having a great second period sandwiched by a bad first and third period, and dig into the numbers behind this game. But before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet and you'll get started with $200 and bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. So, Macklin Celebrini makes his NHL debut. We've been waiting since last year for this potential possibility, and he delivers more than expected, to be honest, with a goal and an assist in the first period, scoring the fastest goal by a first overall pick in his NHL debut since some dude named Mario Lemieux, as he scored 7 minutes and 1 second into the first period. Very, very, very fluky goal, but at the end of the day, they don't ask how, they just ask how many. And Celebrini is on the board with his first goal. You saw from Celebrini what makes him so fun and exciting, and how his plays with pace and makes his line mates better. Beautiful assist to Tyler Toffoli. Gets the puck behind the net, finds some soft spot, and is able to pass it to Toffoli, who, as we know, Tyler Toffoli, that's a walking 25 to 30 goals a year. Toffoli's got one already. Even the flunky, the goal from Macklin Celebrini, his creates space by using the William Eklund's patented spinorama, creates space from that, uses the backhand to put on a, like, that pass is insane. That pass would have been insane forehanded. He did that backhanded to William Eklund, who was streaking down. If that pass gets through, Eklund scoring there. Like, it was just a matter, but bounced off the defender's foot and went in. Like, that was a insanely, that's just how special of a talent Celebrini is. You also saw on the power play just his puck movement, how crisp his passes, and how he sees the geometry just different than other people. I said it the other day, but I have a feeling this power play has a chance to be special. And you saw why tonight, as the power play did go 1 for 2. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but you have to feel like Celebrini, like, what this is just a glimpse of what we're going to see Celebrini do for the next, hopefully 20 plus years from him. And like, this is just scratching the surface. And he definitely had his plays here and there that, like, he had some issues with, or maybe making the wrong read, and just anything. But, like, overall, I don't know how you can't give him an A grade coming out of this. He was tremendous tonight. He was the first star of the game tonight for the start, of this game. Like, yeah, he's gonna be this dude, and I've been trying to temper expectations on him just because it's a lot to ask, and it's only game 1. We have 81 more of these things to do, and he's going to have his nights where you're like, man, that was not the best night. But like, I don't know how you can't like the vibe, even though they lost 5-4, and we'll talk about that more in the second segment. But I don't know how you can't be so excited about what Celebrini is going to bring and how he's going to change, like just change the franchise. You saw, like the tank was full tonight. You had like Draymond Green there tweeting about like Celebrini is going to change this franchise for the better and make this a desirable place for free agents, make this a fun team again, and eventually make this a competitive team again. So, A plus from I don't I don't know how you don't give Celebrini an 8 tonight for what he did and what he brought to this team tonight. So, and just imagine, like, once he becomes like good at defense, like good NHL at defense. Oh yeah. Will Smith, again, kind of lost in the moment tonight because of Celebrini and what he did, but I think Will Smith had a really solid debut as well, right? You saw some of those glimpses and flashes of what makes Will Smith a special player. He had a great, like the first shot of the game from the Sharks was because of Will Smith behind the net. Like he goes and gets the puck. I think Zetterlund kind of, wins a little bit of a battle. Smith reads that there's some open space, gets the puck, and gets it straight to Granlund, who just is a little off on the play, but just isn't able to kind of get everything on it from Granlund. But that creativity, right? You saw Smith kind of, it was almost like a little 2-on-1 type of situation, or like 2-on-2 type of situation, where Smith kind of gets the puck from behind his back, kind of whips it around with the stick, and then kind of turns it into a pass to Fabian Zetterlund is just off. And if that pass connects, I have really good feeling that Zetterlund's going to score there, just because like he has the goalie beat dead to right. He basically just has to get it on net. But you saw a lot of that creativity and that kind of what's going to make Will Smith a special player as well. We'll talk about kind of in a little bit, the third period and these guys, Ryan Warsofsky turning to the veterans, especially as the game got really tight there. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But overall, though, I don't know, like as great as, Celebrini was amazing tonight, but Will Smith, I thought showed a lot of flashes and should not be forgotten. And I thought he played really, really well tonight too. Playing with Granlund, playing with Zetterlund, and both these guys, until the third period, you saw Warsofsky was giving these guys, defensive zone starts. Like he was letting Will Smith. I thought maybe you might see Granlund taking draws, and then Smith kind of sliding into center as the play got underway. But Warsofsky let both these guys go out there and play as centermen, and play in a lot of situations until the game got tight. And we'll discuss if maybe that was the right or wrong situation, and I get why he did it there. But Will Smith, not the greatest night face-off percentage, and I'm very much actually for both of them, not the greatest face-off percentages. They're both under 10%, but those that will get better as you have two, again, 18 and 19-year-old kids going at it through the face-offs, and those numbers will eventually get better, and I'm not going to worry about face-off percentage. But I was pretty happy with the way that both these guys have played, and especially for Will Smith, who through the preseason has gotten better game by game. And it's baby steps, right? Baby steps for Will Smith, where you have to have different expectations for both these players, right? I talked about it yesterday. I'm going to continue. Like, you can't compare the children and their development together. Every child develops differently. You have to let them both do their own things, and it's very hard not to compare them, but you have to kind of keep that in mind. But I think for Will Smith, right, you've seen him start to kind of stack quality moments together, have good games. You're kind of seeing less and less of the big mistakes from him. And he's going to continue to gain the trust of Ryan Warsofsky. And I think Celebrini, of course, is probably going to gain the trust a little bit faster, just because Macklin Celebrini is a special, special player. But I think you have to be feeling like the vibes. I know they lost tonight, right? And we'll get to that here in a second. But seriously, the vibes right now are going to like off the charts tonight through the first two periods, especially that second period, where you could tell like this is not going to be long until this team is fun and competitive, and that's all you can ask for this season is just be fun this year and be competitive, and you got that tonight from the Sharks. So we'll talk about the second period and the first and third periods, and some decisions maybe by Warsofsky, and as he's also going through his rookie campaign. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your hiring and matching platform where you can search over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. So join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. All right. So before we get to the second, third period, everything that kind of happened there, I do want to, of course, thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. For your second listen, go check out one of the other great podcasts here on the show, right? You have Locked On Fantasy Hockey. So if you already hate your fantasy team and you need to go dig through the waiver wire, Locked On Fantasy Hockey's got you covered. Or check out anything here in the Bay Area where you got Locked On Niners, the big win over the Seahawks tonight. You have Locked On Warriors who are starting their preseason, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants. So make sure you guys are following wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch any of those shows on YouTube as well. So something we saw tonight that was very different than what we saw from the 2023-2024 San Jose Sharks. And the first period was not a great first period. From that, like the Sharks just got outplayed, right? And you could tell maybe some nervous energy, some whatever, right? It's a home opener. Your first time you're playing, there's a lot of buzz around the team, right? Just because of what happened this summer. But Sharks first period, Blues completely dominated, right? 21-22 shots on goal, and that's a lot. But credit to the Sharks, one, they had the lead, right? A little bit fluky, but we'll take the lead. But two, the second period, right? How many times did we see this team have a first period like that and then just continue to have a second period like that? And I thought that was a really good sign from Warsofsky to kind of get this team into gear this second period. And this was a second period that the Sharks really outplayed. Like they were the better team against the Blues. At 5v5, it was about 15 minutes. We had a couple power plays in the second period, but 19-12 shot attempts in favor of the Sharks. Actual shots at 5v5, 9-4. Scoring chances, 10-5. This was after the Sharks gave up 22 scoring chances in the first period. They 10-5. They won that area. 4-2 high danger chances. Expected goals for was 0.9 to 0.33 expected goals for. And again, like the first period, Sharks was very much a quality over quantity, where they had 0.76 expected goals for, while the Blues had 2.59. So the Sharks were very lucky to not have the, like kind of do have the lead in the first period. But, like that is a response that we have not really kind of seen from the Sharks team in many a year, right? Where you can kind of just like, let's wash away the second period or the first period, like the first 20 minutes, and go out and be the better team for long stretches of the second period. And they were the better team for long stretches. And it helped that you had some power play opportunities that you could build off of there. It also helped that Barclay Goodrow, came out. And I really like the end of the period, right? How many times did we see last year this team, crucial situation at the end of the period? Sharks go on a penalty kill. Cody Ceci goes to the box. How many times do we see a goal there in the last 2 minutes? A lot, right? Not this time. Goodrow with the fluky shorthanded goal tonight. 2 fluky goals tonight, but you're going to take it, right? This team is, you're going to take them however you can. But I just thought it was a good response from the Sharks to shut down this power play from the Blues and not let them kind of control the end of the game there and score a goal to kind of get them back and feeling good. And then they come out in the third period and you're only down by 2 instead of 3. I know at the end of the game, like they won the game in the long run, but those are the things those are those building block moments for the Sharks. Again, you're trying to change such a losing culture that we've seen from this team the past few years. I thought that second period was a really positive response to a very weird first period, which I'm willing, again, a lot of stuff going on in the first period, a lot of energy, a lot of, butterflies, et cetera, et cetera. The third period, though, this is where you would have liked to see another response from the Sharks. This is going to be a learning and teaching moment for the Sharks, and I think for Warsofsky too, right? They just can't get a shot on goal, right? This team just could not get anything going. They had 3 shots on goal the entire third period. First period, where they got outshot by a lot, they still had 9 shots on goal. Like they still were able to kind of generate some sort of offense. And you saw as the game got a little tighter, Warsofsky did shorten his bench, right? Will Smith got replaced. Daniel Gushin got, we'll talk about Gushin here a little bit. Gushin got benched after that penalty. Even Celebrini, like they reunited the Lund line there. But the Sharks were in so much just kind of into turtle mode that when they needed to try to find some offense, it was too late. Like the Blues had all the momentum and they kept it going. So you wonder for Ryan Warsofsky, again, as a rookie head coach, NHL head coach, your lines were playing pretty well, especially that second period. You needed to try to find some offense. And instead of trying to find some offense and try to open it up back to a 3-goal lead or 2-goal lead, you tried to go into protect mode. And how many times have we seen in the NHL where it's too much to ask, especially against a goaltender? I thought Blackwood was okay tonight, right? The defense is still a lot of new pieces coming together. Like this team's a lot of new pieces coming together. Instead of trying to push the pace and try to kind of counterattack, you went into a turtle mode and you ended up losing. And then when you got to overtime, you had no chance because you just never touched the puck, right? I hope Warsofsky kind of just keeps that in mind as going forward, right? You're going to ride and die with these kids, right? We know this team is not going to be a good team this year. They're probably not going to stack a lot of wins, but Celebrini was playing great tonight. Why don't you want to keep riding him? Okay. Even Will Smith, again, not the same night as Celebrini, and I get you're trying to protect him, right? Not try to kind of put too much pressure on these kids. But Will Smith's been playing big pressure minutes his entire life, right? They're eventually going to have to do it. And you needed offense tonight. You needed that 5th goal, right? And it would have been nice to see them have a response kind of in that middle of the third try to push it. As once the Blues kind of scored those two quick goals, can you have a response? Can you try to extend the lead instead of just hold on for dear life, like the cat hanging from the pole? You tried to hold on for dear life, and you ran. There was just too much time left on the clock. So, yeah, learning moment for everybody in this game. There was a lot of those things. So, we're gonna dig into the numbers, dig into the analytics, look at how the lines performed tonight, look at how Blackwood performed, the defense, all that stuff here in just 1 second. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. If you had listened to me on Twitter this morning, I said Tyler Toffoli goal. That was a winner. Or if you like, I like the Jets this week in the new coach, interim coach bounce, and then you just bet against the Jets the rest of the year. That could be a good option for you too. So you can check out all that and more over at FanDuel.com. All right, let's finish up here by digging into the numbers. Kind of went through it again, but look at kind of the whole numbers. We'll look at kind of the some of the lines and stuff like that tonight. So I mean, this was very much a Blues dominated the first period, Blues dominated the third period. So the numbers are very skewed towards the Blues. They end up with a 61% Corsi for, so that's shot attempts. Actual shots, they had again 61% at 5v5, 61%, 34 to 21 shot attempts. Scoring chances 35 to 20, again highlighted by 22 scoring chances in the first period. High danger chances 17 to 8 in favor of the Blues. Expected goals for 3.66 to 1.73, again in favor of the Blues. As for the Sharks forward lines, so we got a good chunk of the Macklin Celebrini to Foley line. They played almost 13 minutes tonight. 10 shot attempts, gave up 22. Actual shots was 6 to 11 in favor of the Blues. Did have the 2 goals for, 1 goal allowed. Expected goals for was 0.58 to 1.03. 5 to 11 scoring chances, 3 to 6 high danger chances for that line. Zetterlund, Smith, Granlund played 9:45, had 9 to 15 shot attempts. And again, the Blues heavily outshot the Sharks in this game. 6 to 10 actual shots for. No goals, expected goals for 0.53 to 0.76. So that line was very close. And I know you're Will Smith, first game, 19-year-old kid. Like, that line was hanging in there. And I thought as the game went on, they got better and better. So it's a little disappointing that they didn't get a chance really at the end there. But the Cunnin, Wenberg, Goodrow, all defense line, 854 of time on ice, 8 to 8 shot attempts. Actual shots was 2 to 2. No goals, 0.08 to 0.14. 2 to 6 scoring chances for them. And then the Gushin, Delanger, Nico Sturm line, 652, 3 to 5 shot attempts, 2 to 5 actual shots. Did give up 2 goals for that line. So let's start with Gushin there, who I thought Gushin played pretty well. And he's very much a round peg trying to shove into a square hole playing on the fourth line. But I get it with the bad penalty that he took at the end of the game. There probably should have been a 4-minute power play for the Blues there. I thought he drew blood, to be honest, but I guess not. So, but for Gushin, it feels like that one moment kind of undid a lot of really solid things he did in the game. He had a really nice breakup where he had to kind of play defense, he was like a one-on-one, and he had to kind of was basically a defenseman and did a great job breaking up. You saw some of his creativity. You saw him working hard along the boards. I thought he had a really solid game, and I hope this one mistake doesn't press box him or get him sent down to the Barracuda, because I feel like that's a really, really short leash for Daniel Gushin, who, again, they're gonna have to make some decisions here soon. So I hope that one mistake isn't going to kind of cost them. And they did kill the penalty. The Sharks' penalty kill was perfect tonight, 0 for 2. Plus a shorthanded goal, so that's +1, I guess, if you want to, whatever. The kind of Wenberg Goodrow line, you saw kind of how they were being used. Like, that is going to be kind of the shutdown line. That line is going to be asked to do a lot of work. Cunnin did have a couple good opportunities tonight. He hit the post, like the loudest post I've ever heard. Did have like a mini breakaway that he wasn't able to kind of get a good shot off. Like you saw that, how that line was kind of put together. But at the end of the game, Wenberg was playing with Zetterlund Granlund to kind of shut things down here. It was also nice to see the Lund line reunited, even if it was for a shift. It was good to see those guys. William Eklund has earned his spot. I thought Eklund was great tonight too, kind of creating offense. And again, he's earned his role and what he does for this team. He led the way among forwards with 21 minutes. The next closest guy was Granlund at 18-15. So like to see Eklund being relied upon there. And I know he's on the second power play unit, but we'll see how long that lasts. Defensively tonight, let's see, looking at 5v5 again, that's what you want to focus on, is how do they play at 5v5. Corsi 4 among the Matt Benning, who I thought was okay tonight, is definitely, you have to give Benning a little bit of grace period, as he is coming off missing almost a full season. The rest is definitely still there for him, so I'm going to give him some time to kind of get back up to game speed. But he actually led the way among defensemen at 11 at Corsi 4, 43.48%. Next was Jake Wallman, who took a puck right to the chest and kind of, didn't miss a beat there. But I thought Wallman was great, especially on the Celebrini goal. Like, it's been a while since we saw a defenseman who can get the puck up that quickly. CC was next at 38.64, Ferraro 38.10. Thrun, who had some strong moments, but then also had, like, on the goal there, just a bad giveaway on one of the goals there. Just a bad giveaway in the defensive zone that leads straight to a goal, and Benning's caught out of position there. So a little bit tough for him. And then Jan Ruda, 35-14, Corsi 4. As for time on ice for the defenseman, because I think it's interesting to see how they're getting utilized, Wallman led the way with almost 25 minutes played, followed by CC at 23.55, Ferraro 21.38, Jan Ruda 20.25, and then Thrun 15.01, and Benning 12.22. So it's something to keep an eye on there, especially as with the time on ice. Benning, again, coming back from some rust. I think Thrun, you'll probably see those minutes get up a little bit more. I don't think you can play Wallman 25 minutes a night, but I thought he was pretty good tonight. He also had Wallman did have, like, he saved a goal at one point there off a weird ricochet off the back, was able to kind of knock it out of the way. As for Mackenzie Blackwood tonight, who started the game really well. Like, he kept the Sharks in this game here, but you would have loved to see him make just that one more save, especially in the third period. So he had 35 saves on 40 shots, gave up 5 goals. Expected goals against was 4.32. So pretty close there. 875 save percentage, 14 high danger saves on 15 shots. That's great. 933 save percentage. 4 mid-danger saves on 7 mid-danger shots, 571. That's killer right there. And then 15 low-danger saves on 16 low-danger shots with the 938. So, yeah, overall, again, you lost tonight, 5-4 in overtime. But still, like, we know this team is going to lose its fair share of games this season. But you still have to feel like the vibes right now of what Celebrini is going to bring in as Eklund and Zetterlund and Tyler Toffoli, who It looks like he's going to be worth every penny that they paid him. The team is just going to be more fun and competitive. And as this team learns to win, it's hard to win and it's hard to learn how to win, especially as you're trying to erase all the stuff that happened over the past couple seasons. You have to feel optimistic. I know it stinks that they lost. And if they'd won, we would be going freaking crazy right now. But this was still like a great performance. You saw a lot of great things out of the Sharks tonight, and you saw some stuff that they're going to need to work on. And that is, remember, it is process over results this season. And you saw good responses. You saw the team play well. At times, like those are building block things for this team as they try to get better and again laying a foundation for future success. So overall, I'm happy that the way the team played tonight, with the exception of the third period where they just turtled too much. And I think hopefully Warsofsky, this is a learning moment where you need to continue, not only for Warsofsky, but for the players, where you need to continue to kind of keep the pedal to the metal, try to open things up, because we've seen just too many times in the NHL recently where no lead is safe. So that's going to be it for me today. We'll be back next week as we talk about the Sharks and the Ducks game from Saturday night. So make sure you guys are following wherever you get podcasts. And, of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole. Till Monday. Bye, friends.